Okay, let's say this with folded hands. Shree Hay Ru Ka, Shree Hay Ru Ka, Shree Hay Ru Ka. Hay is the selflessness of phenomena, the emptiness of the mind, which is the source of everything, as it is impurity of causal nature. Ru is the selflessness of person, the emptiness of the self that is fabricated by the web of conceptual thought that grasps at the self of person. Ka is the ultimate reality, the absence of the dissonant duality of subject object. Shree is the non-dual exalted wisdom that abides in congruence with the emptiness of object. This is the meaning of evam. Okay, today I will explain this one, Shree Hay Ru Ka. As we indicated yesterday, that the Buddha, in fact, the Bodhisattva himself manifested in the form of various the deities like Shri Guru Samaja. In fact, Shri Guru Samaja, the story behind that was that there was one king who was closely associated with the Buddha Shakyamuni, King Indra Bodhi. And the king, of course, he was a disciple of the Buddha. Then he requested the Buddha, say, the Buddha, please teach me, give me a teaching. Give me a teaching which will take me to Buddhahood, but me, without having to leave the palace. So the Buddha Shakyamuni prince said that he left the palace and then attained Buddhahood. So King Indra Bodhi requested Buddha, please give me a teaching so that I become enlightened without having to leave the palace. Right? Who was that? Who asked? No, it was yesterday's question answer, NCC1. So where I don't want to meditate on emptiness of the joy, happiness. I want to meditate on the suffering. So suffering is gone and happiness I continue to experience. So this, the king, of course, King Indra Bodhi, very different, extremely realized. He said that, and the Buddha Shakyamuni instantly manifested himself in the form of Shri Guru Samaja, the tantric deity, Shri Guru Samaja, and he gave the whole discourse in Shri Guru Samaja to King Indra Bodhi. So King Indra Bodhi, in the mandala, so look at these ceilings, you see all these depictions of the mandala there, and one should be the mandala of Shri Guru Samaja. I don't know where that is. Okay. Okay. The Shri Guru Samaja, unlike many of the mandalas, they at the corner meaning at the periphery, you see that there's a depiction of the cemeteries, there. But then for the Shri Guru Samaja, we don't have the cemetery in the mandala, the periphery of the mandala. So the reason is that King Indra Bodhi, being a king, and he did not leave the palace, he's in the palace, so everything is so clean, tidy, so the depiction of the cemetery was not there. Otherwise, for Shri Vajrabhairava, Shri Chakrasambhara, Shree Hay Ru Ka, so for all these mandalas, we see that at the periphery there is the depiction of the cemeteries with the bones and so forth. You will see them, but for Shri Guru Samaja is not there. Okay, so what I'm sharing with you is that the Buddha himself manifested. The Buddha Shakyamuni himself manifested in the form of different deities. For example, Shree Hay Ru Ka is one of them. And then the Buddhas, how they choose their name is not to promote themselves and so forth, just to make sure that the beings who come in contact with them, either hearing or meditating or actually have the vision and so forth, that these beings are liberated simply because of they come in contact with them through their names, through their practice, mantras and so forth. So Shree Hay Ru Ka, he chose his name in such a way that the beings, just by coming in contact with this name, the beings will get such a awakening, exposure to the very profound information of the enlightenment. So what is that like? So for this we see that it has the 4 syllables Shree Hay Ru Ka. 4 syllables. You notice that? Shree Hay Ru Ka. Okay. Now, explaining this, what we do is that we do Hay Ru Ka Shri. Shri we keep it last. Hay Ru Ka Shri. So now what is the idea? In what way this sacred name, the sacred name of the Buddha Shree Hay Ru Ka is extremely blessed, is in ways that they say in ways to cleanse the mind of the mental defilements. So if there is something which is so blessed, so powerful, whatever, it should be the power of the blessing, power or the blessing to cleanse the mind. There's nothing greater than that. You agree? If you can understand it in this sense, this very powerful deity, powerful mantra, powerful practice and so forth, whatever powerful, the power is judged by how much it is the power to cleanse your mind. If that is not happening, no matter what miracle power is happening outside, is totally irrelevant to you. So if this is what you understand, you truly understand Dharma. Where you see Dharma in the form of something outside, very powerful, arrogant, elegant and so forth, and nothing to do with your cleansing of the mind. It has nothing. It is not at all powerful. So power is to be judged by the ability to counter your mental defilements. Now look, if this is how you understand it, the power of the Dharma practice, then you see this name, the sacred name chosen by the Buddha as Shree Hay Ru Ka. You say it's extremely powerful. From there you can see the depth of the wisdom and the depth of the compassion. So how? To cleanse the mind of the mental defilements. The mental defilements, you should know the mental defilements. What are the mental defilements? Anyone? What kind of mental defilements we have? Quick. Okay, Nicola. Anger. Very good. Anyone else? Quick. Just raise your hand quick to save time. Attachment.
Hello.
Jealousy. Anyone else? Quick. Yeah. Ignorance. Okay, don't make it too general, right? What's going in your mind? Share this with us. Sorrow, craving, pride, greed, aversion. We never talked about the mobile. Right? We're being totally unrealistic. Be realistic. Getting glued to the mobile. Addiction to the mobile. Okay. So we see that, do you agree with me that all these problems, this is any problem? This is no problem. This is mental defilements? Like what? Mental defilements like what? Any irritation, any unhappiness, sadness? No, nothing. Everything's fine. Because of your two parents being so kind to you. Right? Okay. So and do you agree with me that how many such problems are there? How many such problems? How many such problems? Innumerable problems are there. And when it's innumerable, then how can you have the innumerable remedies? This will be so the point is that, so all these problems, we can put them together in the form of, do you agree with me? All these problems are related to which we can relate to the metaphor, the sound of a clam. Right? Say, okay, once more, any problem? Somebody tell me. What kind of problem? Anyone, quick. Okay, this is Samsala. Okay, laziness. Laziness with what? Dharma work. Okay, let's say Dharma or the work. Okay, I don't want to go to the work. Right? Monday. What's the Monday like? Friday, Monday? Indifference? Okay, over there.
Нетерпимость, Гешела.
Lack of patience. lack of patience.
Occupation. Lack of patience. Okay, being impatient. Okay, impatient with what?
Но она по-разному выражается. Иногда по отношению к другим людям, иногда мне что-то хочется сказать, что я думаю, что я умнее, чем кто-то еще. Вот. Или я знаю, как нужно сделать, например, хочу посоветовать очень сильно что-то.
Impatience with regard to the other people
Other
sometimes,
people, right?
and sometimes
Do it a little
impatience.
quicker, right? I cannot wait, right? You can delay your food later, right? I cannot wait. I have to go, otherwise I will miss my food. You can delay your food, it's fine, right? Okay, so impatience. So impatience, and who has the problem? I have the problem. So look, sound of clap. So this sound of clap is the problem of the impatience. So this impatience is because of the two things coming together. I have the problem. You have to do it quickly for me. And you are not doing it. You and I. You're getting it? So I am the agent who should not be suffering. And you are somewhere there as the object who is creating problem on me. You getting it? So for all the problems, there's these two things. The person who experiences the pain or the problems, and the object related to the problem, object which creates the problem. You agree? These two things come together, then the problems erupt. You feel the problem. Say, for example, we say that, okay, your name, Valerium. Valerium, are you impatient with how I work in Tibet house? No, why not? So look at our staff here. Ravianla, they are so impatient with Geshe, Why not? Because it's not related to me. You're getting it? So you may be so slow, or you may be too perfectionist, whatever, right? It has nothing to do with me. So of the two hands, only one hand. You can do whatever in the Tibet house, right? It's totally irrelevant to me. So this me is missing. So no irritation. So when somebody next to you who's there to create problem, and then you are there, then the sound of the impatience erupted. You getting it? So they are the objects, and you as the subject, as the person, you as the person, the subject, and the object with which you interact, clap, and the sound erupted. Sound of the miseries erupt. Okay, for how many of you this makes some sense? Raise hands. Good. Now the point is that it's not just you meeting with the problem. It's not that. It's the misperception of the you, misperception of you, the self, I. Misperception of the I and misperception of the object with which I interact. The two misperceptions coming together, then the miseries arise. Simply I and the problem, the object of the stimulus of the problem meet, it does not necessarily create problem. So the real problem comes when the misperception of the I and misperception of the object with which you interact, these two misperceptions come. Ignorance related to the I, ignorance related to the object with which you interact, these two meet, then the miseries erupt. So we see that, okay, for how many of you this, it makes some sense, right? Sense? Good. So of the two misperceptions, look, misperception of the I, the person, and misperception of the phenomena with which the person interacts. Let me repeat it. Misperception of the person, which is I, and misperception of the phenomena with which I interact. So these two misperceptions come together, then erupts into problems. So what you do is if you don't want these problems, you have to get rid of either one of these two hands or get rid of both the hands. It's up to the individual. So now, let's say that of the two hands, let's say that, okay, this is very important. You eradicate the misperception of the phenomena with which you interact. Of the two hands, you remove the one hand which is symbolic of the misperception of the phenomena with which you interact. You remove this. What is left? Only one hand is left. Earlier, how many hands are there? Two hands. Two means in English, dual. Duality. You're getting it? The duality is there. Now, you remove one misconception related to the phenomena with which you interact. You remove this. How many left? One. Two left? No left. No two. No duality. Duality dissolves. You're getting it? Duality dissolves. So, no sound. No sound. Your problems dissolve. Okay. So this is one connotation of non-duality, where only the subject is left. There's also one understanding of non-duality. So this is oftentimes presented in many of the classical Indian philosophical traditions, where they say that they talk about the Maya and the Atman. Maya and the Atman. Maya, this is all illusion. Objects with which you interact, they're all illusions. So of the two, Maya, you dissolve. You say these are Maya. In a way, you are dissolving them. Maya means illusion. You dissolve them. What is left? Now Atman is left. Self. Self alone is left. So duality, no duality. Why no duality? Only single. Why no duality? Only single. So this also interpreted as non-duality. Advaita. Advaita. Advaita Vedanta. Advaita. You getting it? Now in Buddhism, not only the phenomena with which the person interacts, that is dissolved through dissolving the misconception of that, you also dissolve the misconception of the person. Now what is left? Duality is dissolved. Duality is dissolved. Not only duality is dissolved, everything is dissolved. Nothing is left there. You getting it? It doesn't mean there is nothing. Because, two questions. What is the first question? Do things exist? What's the answer? Yes. Then when I say that nothing is left, what does it mean by that? Nothing is left objectively. You getting it? Nothing is left objective, be it the phenomena with which you interact or the person who interacts with the phenomena. So is also seen as empty of the objective reality. Objective reality where everything is dissolved. That is absolute non-duality. You have partial non-duality and absolute non-duality. So the Advaita Vedanta, when they talk about the Advaita, Maya dissolves, but the Atman is left. It's a partial non-duality. It's not the full non-duality. It is non-duality. Duality means two. Non-duality means no two. So when one is left, it's no two, but it's partial in ways that something is left there. So in Buddhism, even that is dissolved. So that is complete non-duality. You're getting it? Okay. So it's not that, okay, don't think that, oh, Buddhism is superior, Advaita Vedanta is inferior. This is not the connotation. It's your well-being. It's not about Buddhism is superior, inferior. It's not about that. It's about your well-being. It's whether it's real or not. Say, one approach that would be very helpful is the Buddha's approach, Buddha himself. How? Buddha himself, he met with his two teachers. He did not say that this is my tradition, he just stick to this. No, it's my tradition, what you are doing is very different. No, he did not say this. This tradition is very good, but this does not suit me. Because for me, I'm looking for the solution to all the problems. And the two teachers who guided the Buddha, the Prince Siddhartha. So the path shown by them, the Buddha accomplished consummated the full import of what was taught. And then still, there's no answer there. And the two teachers acknowledged that Buddha, the Prince Siddhartha, reached the same level as the teachers. And Buddha was still not happy that he got the solution. He didn't get the solution. So therefore he left. He left in search of. He is not dogmatic. He's not into my tradition, his tradition, and so forth. He just felt free that I know what it is that, and the teacher also endorsed that you have understood fully. Then, given that still the well-being that he's seeking is not complete, so he left in search of the wisdom of emptiness. Okay, so with this, now the non-dual happens. So what is left? Okay, of the two, what is this? Duality. Now, the misperception of the phenomena with which the person interacts dissolves. What is left? Misperception of the person is left. Seeing the person is intrinsically real, that is left. So, it's a partial non-duality. Then you see the emptiness of the person also. That the person also empty of object reality. Dissolve that. What is left now? What is left? It's a complete non-duality. You're getting it? Okay, who knows this complete non-duality? Again, this question. Who knows this complete non-duality? Somebody should know this. If there's nobody who knows this, it is non-existent. Somebody should know that. You understood it? You got it? Okay, now, having this as the background information, now let's go to Hay Ru Ka Shree. Actually, it should be Shree Hay Ru Ka. Now we put the Shree last. Hay Ru Ka Shree. Okay, so don't forget the sequence with which I led you. In the sequence with which I led you, first what did you dissolve? The misperception of the phenomena with which the person interacts. Right? So, Hay Ru Ka Shree. Hay is the selflessness or the emptiness of the phenomena with which the person interacts. And how many such phenomena are there with which the person interacts? How many phenomena with which you interacted in your life? Innumerable phenomena. Innumerable. How many times you had breakfast in your life? 365 into 365 into whatever you age, multiply. 20 or 21? 20. 365 into 20, multiply that. What is the number? 7,000? So according to Nico, I'm quoting him. Because if it's wrong, it's him. 7,330, according to Nico. You getting it? So this much. And then multiply. I, you 20, me 56. Multiply 56 is double, triple. Okay, so this much you have interacted with your breakfast, with the lunch, with the people, with the houses, with the cars, with the complexities, complaints, with the joys, innumerable phenomena. So all these phenomena, do you agree with me that how many movies that you've watched? So movies that you've watched, they're all but coming from the projector. Yes. In one movie that you watch, there may be so many things happen in the same movie. 1.5 hours movie or 3 hours movie. So, So what's there? So what's the problem? What is it? Is it inside or outside? Are you sure? It's outside. It's outside. It's not inside. It's outside. Okay, somebody who is very familiar with this hall. Is somebody there? The one? This is outside. Yeah. Very gross illusion. Yeah, very gross. If you cannot know this illusion, then how can you know the subtle illusion? Of course, it's very outside. Okay, now stop. Hey, don't look at it. Still looking at there. Okay, this is more well behaved. Huh? Okay, good. What was he saying? Yes, it was a hey, right? Okay, on the screen. Say you're watching a movie within one movie where you have seen so many things happening. They're nothing, they're all the play of the projector. Yes? Single projector. Likewise, that you are seeing all the innumerable, you interact all these things, they're nothing but the radiance, the play of your own mind. For example, you say, oh, these are amazing, beautiful paintings, right? Paintings, the cats, dogs come, beautiful paintings. They will not see these beautiful paintings. You're getting it? And people who have no sense of spirituality, they come, they have no sense of, oh wow, Lama Tsongkhapa. No sense of like respect. Wow, it's a beautiful painting, right? That's it. So is the interpretation of this beautiful painting, or this is very auspicious, the religious, the indications and so forth. This is all the interpretation of one's own mind. Now, even the colors, they are the interpretation of your mind. The shapes, they are the interpretation of minds. The shape. And the good, bad, all these are the interpretations of your own mind. For example, like what happens in the dream. All but good, bad, the paintings, so forth in the dream. They are the play of the dreaming mind. You agree? Not agree? Then you agree? Not agree? What do you agree? Then la. I don't analyze then. Mike.
Gisla, in dream, all of this is play of mind.
Whatever that you saw in the dream, that you interact with, oh, this nice cheesecake, I'm very sad, there's no mobile with me. So all the interaction with the things in the dream, when you wake up, you see that they are nothing but a play of all your dreaming mind. You agree? How many agree with me? Raise hands. Okay. Say, for example, say in the nighttime, complete dark, you don't see the colorful flowers. You agree? Why don't you see the colorful flowers? To see the colorful flowers, you require light. You're getting it? Now do you see the colorful flowers? And do you see the colorful paintings? There's a light there. This light, of course, conventionally, outside light is there. But there's an inner light. There's an inner light within you. And this is not just, some dogmatic teaching. This is reality. Inner light. And this inner light radiates in the form of all these colorful things, shapes, designs, and so forth. In other words, all phenomena, they're the play of your own mind, radiance of your own mind, your mind. And how do you know that? How do you know that these are the play of my own mind, these colors? How do you know that? Don't talk about emptiness. It is before emptiness. Emptiness comes later. Even before emptiness, these are all the play of your own mind, the different colors, the shapes, and so forth. These are the radiance of one's own mind. This is so precious, so precious. Is there anybody who likes to share with us how it is the case? How do you know that this is the play of is the radiance of my own mind? These are the lights of my own internal lights, seen as outside light. Is there anybody who can share with us? Not talking about emptiness. Okay, Anna. A light, Mike.
Sorry. Because everything I experience is through my own senses, so therefore everything I experience is through my own senses, so it has to be through my own perception.
No, senses is fine. Senses require the light from outside.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is the light from inside. How do you know that? Anyone? Igor. This is very important. And there are many Buddhist teachings, particularly the minor teachings, which revolve around that concept. Everything is radiance one's own mind. Then comes the emptiness.
You're talking about appearances.
No, not only with you.
What appear to our senses.
Your body, the house, the lights, all these things, they are nothing but the play of one. Appearance of these lights, of course, appearance of these things, the play of mind, that's fine. But object which appears to me,
Okay.
and the appearance of the object, these two are different.
Yes.
So the objects which appear to me, they are the play of one's own mind, the radiance of one's own mind. How do you know that?
My answer was regarding the appearances. The
Okay,
objects.
anyone else, object, not the appearance. Okay, Ladula. This is very important, extremely important.
Geshe, I can only think of the example of dream. Though I'm sleeping in dark night, but when I dream, in my dream, I see all the
Colors.
and the light is there. Though I'm sleeping in dark, so that's the example that I can.
No, this example, but how do you really explain that? With the help of example, you have to explain. Even outside, there also lie the radiance of one's own mind. How to explain it? Here.
Upon the energy I have in the morning, when I'm, for example, in a good mood, I see the rain and I'm smiling. I see the trees, I see people around, and it's all shining to me because I'm shining from inside. And when I have the bad mood, when I'm sad, when I'm jealous, whatever, I don't see any beauty around me. So that's the inner light.
Your name?
Paul.
Paul. Okay, what Paul said makes sense. Say, Paul is saying that when you are still awake, how the things that I see, I'm not saying the appearance of the objects, I'm saying the objects, I see them as very different depending on my moods. When I'm very happy, everything seems glowing. Everyone's glowing. Why you are so happy? Why you are so happy? Everything is so good. And when you're very sad, everybody seems so gloomy. Even the flower is drooping. Everything is so sad. Color is so dull, right? Foggy, wet. Okay, how many of the experience of the winter in Scandinavian countries? The winter in the Scandinavian, or in Russia, right? Cold, dark, wet, absolutely quiet, right? You are alone. You're not alone. Everybody's there, but everybody says that you are alone, right? So, and then you see everything so sad, heavy. Okay, and then the spring. Wow, everything is glowing, so beautiful. So the point is that, say, your state of mind decides what is seen around. This is one thing. Now the next part is that more precisely about the colors and so forth. Colors and so forth is that I think about like age 10 or 11 in school here, my school. And I still remember I had the jacket, coat, tracksuit coat. What do you call it? Tracksuit. And the color was blue. It was blue in color. And it was winter. And we went to the hall for the group prayer. And it so happened that day, the fluorescent light bulb was installed outside. The big fluorescent light was installed. And then this little boy, after the prayer, we got out. And then I saw that my jacket color is very different. My jacket color was pink. And it's not that, it was, say, that like a reflection. No, it's not reflection. It's intrinsically pink. I was so shocked. What's happened to... And then the question arises, which is the real color? The pink or the blue? If the pink is wrong, then why not the blue is also wrong? If the blue is correct, why not the pink is correct? This was the question that came to me. So later on, when you see these texts, everything is a play of one's own mind. Even the lights, colors, shapes, and so forth, they are the radiance of one's own mind. I was fascinated. Wow, that's amazing. If you can really focus on this, that these are the play of one's own mind, different dependent origination factors, then the things appear in different ways. They're just a play of one's own mind. Then I sense that this is so precious. Okay, Sheikh. Mike.
Geshe, I understand the claim that reality is subjective because it's affected by my own experience, by my mood, by how I feel, but it's a partial explanation. The way I experience is affected. It's not entirely controlled.
If it's entirely controlled, it's nihilism.
True.
You getting it? If you get a feeling that if you understand emptiness means that everything should be controlled by your mind. If this is your interpretation, this is nihilism. You getting it? Okay, Sheikh, I have to go through the text. Let me conclude what you said. Is that what you are seeing, your interpretation partially is affected by mind? This is partial. Why partial? Because our learning is partial. Our learning is partial, which means our learning should be complete to get the complete picture. You're getting it? Okay. So with this in mind, now going back to the point. Say all phenomena, what we said thus far. Of course, don't expect to know all these things just in few minutes. You're getting it? Then the Buddha remained 49 days silent. Right? And if I can teach in few minutes, everything radiates on one's mind. Wow, right? And then this is contradictory. Right? Buddha remained silent for 49 days, which means this concept is quite technical. You're getting it? Don't expect it. But you have to hear these things. We have to hear these things. Not only you. We all have to hear these things. And then again hear it again. Contemplate. Hear again. Contemplate. Then you understand goes deeper, 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 deeper. You're getting it? Okay. Having said this, so what we said thus far is that everything, including the colors, shapes, and so forth, these are all nothing but the radiance. I will use the word radiance. Because to see these colors, colorful the paintings, colorful flowers and so forth, we need the external light, the radiance, external radiance. So likewise, all these things are nothing but the light of the inner light. When you say, and I feel really unhappy to, when people discuss, oh, everything's just inner and so forth, without being able to explain. Just that this is just the inner light radiated outside. How? Explain it. If you can explain it, that's amazing. And if you don't explain, it's just copying somebody. So that is what I don't really feel happy about. This is insight. Равена, чикчеш.
Тоже возник вопрос, проводили исследования научные, и об этом в научении говорил его святейшество Далай-лама, что когда мы смотрим на людей, приятных, мы преувеличиваем их достоинства, или на неприятных, мы преувеличиваем их недостатки. И ученые доказали, что на самом деле 70 или 80%, 10 или 20% это качество этого объекта, то есть этого человека. А наш ум преувеличивает на 80 или 90%. Вот вы только что сказали, что все это наш ум а вот это все-таки 10%, 20% от объекта, вот, каким образом можете нам немножко объяснить, что таки со стороны объекта тоже есть какие-то качества?
Geshe-la, I have heard about different scientific experiments, and I've also heard that on one of the teachings of His Holiness the Dalai Lama, His Holiness also made this point where His Holiness said that when we look at the object, there is a influence of our inappropriate attention, and which is we either is exaggerating the qualities of the object or otherwise. And actually, according to the scientific research, science proved that there are some intrinsic qualities of the objects which probably around 10 to 20%, and these are qualities which pertain to the object. So qualities which I would say intrinsic to the reality, to the natural reality of the object. And when we look at the object, our mind plays only like around 80% or maximum 19%. So what I want to say, it is not 100% from our mind side. It's not only it's not 100%. There is some percentage which is from the object side, which are intrinsic qualities of the objects. So from the object sides, 10 to 20%, and from my mind side, it's 80 to 90%. And this is according to the scientific research.
Okay, this is very good. Very good. What I would say is that whosoever presents you with something, some facts or some information, I would say, it can be fact, it may not be fact. Some information, I would say maintain an open mind. Maintain an open mind. Don't just say that, oh, in 8 quantities with Nagarjuna philosophy, it doesn't make any sense. If this approach, you will never get to the reality. So learn them. Learn them to the extent that the person who's the authority in this concept, who conceived this concept, if you are to reproduce what the person said, and the person said that you have understood me fully. You have understood me fully. And then you study Aranigarjuna, which is something still deeper, then you'll be fascinated. You'll be fascinated. This is amazing. For example, this is why the Dhyana systems, the Vaibhashika is very close to the ordinary people's thinking. Then Sautrantika, a little bit introduce the subjectivity. Then Chittamatra, radical subjectivity. Then Madhyamaka, then Prasangika Madhyamaka, middle way subjectivity, not radical. Middle way. Every time you say that, the individual is maturing. So therefore, it's so important for us to learn, so important of us to maintain the open mind. To maintain open mind. In other words, try to really understand what the other person is saying. The scientists are saying, try to know that what they're saying. And then that too, not just what you think you know. You should actually know what the other person is saying. And then study Aranigarjuna. And you truly should know what Aranigarjuna is saying. Then you compare the two. If you say the other presentation is better than Aranigarjuna, that's it. Other one's better. If Aranigarjuna is better than the other one, or not better, more profound, then that's it. So fun is your well-being. It's not that Aranigarjuna cannot be wrong. No, this should not be attitude. Attitude that know thoroughly what Aranigarjuna taught, know thoroughly what others say, then compare, then you will see that it's really very profound. In fact, Aranigarjuna's thoughts in the monastic universities, the great scholars, they learn for 30, 40, 50 years. And eventually, closer to us, after hitting like, say, 30, 40, then they hear the word Aranigarjuna, goosebumps come on the body. And for example, usually I joke, David Hume, I read it. When you say David Hume, goosebumps doesn't come to me. You're getting it? The Albert Einstein, goosebumps doesn't come to me. Of course, I don't know other science relatively too much. I read it, I learned a little bit, but it's not really close to the ear. So what I'm saying is that this is the openness that one needs to maintain. We learn all these things. And finally, I would say that in one direction, Nagarjuna's philosophy, the scientists, what they are saying, Albaran's what he's saying, they're all going in one direction. But then some will reach like 10%, they go to then 20%, 30%, 40%. So they all differ in the depths. Okay, I don't want to go too much into this part. Okay, good. Somebody raise a question. Okay, Igor. Because keep in mind that there are 150 verses to go. So we had just finished 26. The last question.
Sorry, Geshe.
Yeah.
This is regarding the object and appearances. When I speak of appearances, is what we get from the senses.
Yeah.
So the color, etc. So isn't this appearances all that we access? So you were speaking of the object itself. And that object, beyond appearances, isn't that the object of refutation here in this studies?
So is there an object which is beyond appearance? This is your question? Is this your point? If there is, then does it become the object of refutation?
Yes.
Is it what you're saying? Okay, good question. So object and the appearance of object, first we need to make a distinction between the two. Object and the appearance of the object. Flower and the appearance of the flower. Appearance of flower is not a flower. Flower is a flower. So these distinctions must be made. And then on that basis, appearance can be the radiance, but the object per se, to know that object is a radiance, that is more difficult in comparison with the appearance of the flower as the radiance.
We can only apprehend the flower through the appearance of the flower.
Of course.
It's the only
100%.
option.
Sorry?
Only option we have.
This is one option, yes. So?
So only we get experience to experience is the appearances.
Of course. So?
So we can say that the appearance are the radiance of our minds.
Appearance is radiance, but it doesn't mean the object is radiance. Igor's appearance is not Igor. Not only appearance of the Igor is radiance, Igor is also radiance of the mind. Okay, good. Let's not they go too much in depth. This is very good. These are very good reflections. Okay, now going back. What we said is that, okay, the person and the phenomena with which the person interacts. And how many such phenomena are there? Innumerable. However innumerable they are, they all can be subsumed under the radiance of the mind. They all can be subsumed under the radiance of the mind. They are the play of one's own mind. So if you see the emptiness of the mind, if you see the emptiness of the mind, that suffices seeing the emptiness of the whole phenomena. You getting it? You see the emptiness of the mind, that suffices seeing the emptiness of all phenomena, because all phenomena, they all subsumed under the mind's radiance. When you see that the mind itself is the emptiness nature, then that suffices seeing the emptiness of the object with which the person interacts. Number one. You getting it? So, Hay Ru Ka Shree. Okay, first Tenzin Ishira should sit, otherwise everybody is looking at you, then looking at Tenzin Rabbeinu. Right? Otherwise Shree Hay Ru Ka, you would not get it. Okay, what? Hay Ru Ka Shree. So the first Hay of the duality, say, seeing the emptiness of the phenomena in the form of seeing the emptiness of the mind. Emptiness of the mind, knowing that mind, the radiance of this mind is seen in the form of all the phenomena. So, say emptiness of the mind corresponds to the selflessness of phenomena. Selflessness of phenomena or the emptiness of phenomena. So technically we call it selflessness of phenomena. So of the duality, the first of the two things is dissolved. Then the second one is Ru. Ru. Ru is not there. So then Samsala Ru is there. Right? Okay. Ru of the two. Right? The first one is dissolved. Now the second one is left. What is that? Misperception of the person. Seeing the person's object real, misperception of the self. So now you see the emptiness of the self, you dissolve it. That is Ru, emptiness of the person. Okay, now what is left? Okay, the two hands are dissolved. What is left? Right? Because you are not looking at my hands, you are looking at the book. So therefore you say ka. Right? And I'm putting effort with these two hands. Right? Okay, this is dissolved. The other hand is dissolved. What is left now? Complete duality, the non-duality is left. Ka. Right? Ka is the complete non-duality which is left. Okay. Now who knows this non-duality is so profound? It's not that nothing is left. No. Intrinsically nothing is left. Nothing intrinsic is left. You're getting it? Everything is there, but nothing is objectively. So now this is what we're getting here. Nothing exists objectively. This is what is left now. So this, who knows that? Shree. Who knows that? Your wisdom knows it. Your wisdom. Your wisdom knows this non-duality. So how does this wisdom knows this non-duality? Look, this wisdom itself is non-dual wisdom. This non-dual wisdom knows the non-duality non-dualistically. Let me repeat it. Non-dual wisdom knows the non-duality non-dualistically. It is not like, okay, the flower is there. It's not like this. So there's a duality there. There's a flower. I'm here. There's a duality there. So whereas this non-dual wisdom that you have, this non-dual Shree, which is symbolic of which depicts or which is symbolic of this non-dual wisdom of yours, which sees the non-duality as the object in a non-dualistic way. You're getting it? This is the meaning of Shree. Okay, good. So we'll recite it once more. Ready? Shree Hay Ru Ka, Shree Hay Ru Ka, Shree Hay Ru Ka. Hay is the selflessness of phenomena, the emptiness of the mind, which is the source of everything, as it is imputed of causal nature. Ru is the selflessness of person, the emptiness of self, that is fabricated by the web of conceptual thought that grasps at the self of person. Ka is the ultimate reality, the absence of the dissonant duality of subject and object. Shree is the non-dual exalted wisdom that abides in congruence with the emptiness of the object. This is the meaning of Evam. Okay, now let us turn to yes. Mark.
Thank you, Geshe. Is the radiance the emptiness of the mind or the knowing quality of the mind?
Okay, this is a good question. Radiance is not emptiness. Radiance, it is like, for example, say nowadays people create on the stages backdrop, instead of putting all these banners from the projector, they show something there and it creates a very beautiful backdrop, right? So this backdrop is nothing but the radiance of the light from the projector. This is the radiance. It's not about emptiness. It's the radiance of this projector. So likewise, everything is like your mind is like the projector, and everything you are seeing around, experiencing, this is all the radiance in that sense.
Is that not knowing?
No. It's not about know. It does not have anything to do with the know or not know. So for example, the projector, literally it is like the projector projecting this light over there. So projector does not know anything. It has not the element of knowing. So the mind has the element of knowing. Mind has the element of manifesting itself in different forms. So this is that side, that it just manifests in the form, is radiance. It's not, I wouldn't say the mind manifests, but the mind's radiance is seen in the light of the different forms. It is like the radiance of the projector on the screen. Okay, good. So now we are on page 28, verse number 26. So still is the debate between Chittamatra and the Prasangika. So now Prasangika is saying that for you Chittamatra, who said that mind exists truly and all the objects that you see, they are empty of externality. So seeing things of external reality, this is illusion. And the mind is not illusion, mind is real. For Prasangika, mind and the object both are illusion-like. Both are illusion-like. Okay. So in 26, suppose you is a Chittamatra. Illusion of the external object is not separate from the mind. For example, say you see the flower. You see the flower there as external. And what this says in reality, what sees the flower is external. This is not really external. It's just the reflection in your own mind. It's just appearance. Appearance, not really out there. Despite being inseparable, your mind and the flower, these two are inseparable. This is like the mind as the mirror, and the flower is like the reflection in the mirror. Inseparable, but it is still impermanent. The flower is still impermanent. You getting it? Okay. So for Chittamatra, what do you think? Flower exists or not exists? For Chittamatra, flower exists or not exists? Okay, flower does not exist. Raise hands for Chittamatra. Okay. For Chittamatra, flower does exist. Raise hands. Okay. So the Chittamatra people, they don't keep a safe. Raise hands. Chittamatra people, they don't have safe because they know that everything's intact in the mind. Raise hands. Okay. So the point is that if Chittamatra says that the flower does not exist, safe does not exist, how does not exist, and so forth, this is nihilism for Chittamatra. Chittamatra said, this is nihilism. You have not understood Chittamatra philosophy well. You're getting it? For Chittamatra, there is flower. But flower, what's the problem? Everything exists for Chittamatra. Everything exists. Flower exists, house exists, everything exists. But they don't exist they don't exist externally. You're getting it? So just this distinction that we made for the Prasangika, saying that everything exists but they don't exist objectively, likewise for Chittamatra, everything exists but they don't exist externally. This is how we should be able to present it. If you're able to retain this position, your Chittamatra philosophy is in line with the authentic Chittamatra philosophy. Okay, so flower exists. Flower exists and flower is impermanent, although it is a nature of your own mind. Okay, so this is what they're saying. Now, Prasangika is saying that, well, if it were truly existent functional thing, if the flower is truly existent, so the flower, does it exist truly or not? The flower does not exist flower does not exist externally, but it exists truly, okay, right? Okay, I think Dr. Anda knew that we have to do the next retreat also. Right. Okay, we need a lot of information. Okay, now another information that is required is that, okay, I'll make it very quick. And the Chittamatra would say that everything that comes to your mind, be it existent, not existent, whatever comes to your mind, can be grouped into three natures. Let me repeat it. Chittamatra will say that anything that comes to mind, be it existent, not existent, something trivial, something important, sacred, the non-sacred, whatever comes to your mind, they should all be classified into what is technically known as three natures. Number one, imputed nature. Number two, other-powered nature, or some people translate it as dependent nature. So, but other-powered nature is better. The first one is imputed nature. Number two is dependent nature. Sorry, other-powered nature. Number three, thoroughly established nature. But the other-powered nature, also keep the optional translation, dependent nature, because later on, if you read other books, you may find only dependent nature, not other-powered. You may get confused. Okay, imputed nature, other-powered / dependent nature, and thoroughly established nature. Thoroughly established nature. 3. Imputed nature, other-powered nature, thoroughly established nature. 3. Okay, now, what does it mean? What do they mean? What do they mean, this question? So for this, what I said is, whatever comes to your mind, be it existent, non-existent, first, let us put it like this. Okay, so on my right-hand side, I have 3 natures. What are they? And don't confuse the order, the sequence. Okay, Naima, impure nature, Mike.
Imputed nature,
Yes,
dependent nature, or
dependent or other power nature too.
and thoroughly established nature.
Thoroughly established nature, very good. So don't forget this sequence. Then on my left hand side, say I'm going to classify all those things which come to mind, and then say I'm going to keep dividing them. So those things which I don't divide any, try to remember those points which I don't divide any further. You getting it? Okay. 1, do you agree with me that anything that comes to mind should necessarily either be existent or non-existent? You agree, not agree? Either should be existent, non-existent. You cannot think of anything else which is neither existent nor non-existent. You cannot think of anything like this. It should be either existent or non-existent. 2 things. Of the 2, I'm not going to divide non-existent. So what did I ask you to remember? Those things which I'm not going to divide any further. Okay. Now existent. What is existent? I divide that into 2. Permanent and impermanent. And permanent, again, I'm going to divide into 2. Permanent, I'm going to divide into 2. Ultimate reality and permanent phenomena other than ultimate reality. Okay, let me say this once more. Everything that comes to your mind, be it existent or non-existent, can classify into 2. Existence and non-existence. Existence further divided into 2. Permanent and impermanent. Permanent further divided into 2. Ultimate reality and permanent phenomena other than ultimate reality. Okay, how many of you could follow what I said? Very good. Now tell me, what are the points which I did not divide any further? Yeah. Raise hands. Raise hands. Raise hands. Raise your hands. Raise your hands. How many of you know that? Now, how many of you are able to identify the things which I did not divide any further? Raise hands, those who know. Raise hands, those who know. Okay, Bhavani, tell me, what are they? And let's all listen to Bhavani. Mike?
Geshe-la, you didn't divide non-existent
Okay, the more non-existent.
and impermanent,
Impermanence.
ultimate reality, and permanent phenomena other than ultimate reality.
That's it.
These 4 you didn't.
Only 4.
Yeah.
Are you sure? Okay, how many of you agree with Bhavani? Reasons? Only 4. I said many. But you identify only 4. Are you sure? How many say only 4? Reasons? Okay, you're right. Don't trust my face. Thank you, Bhavani. Okay, only 4. Now, what we do is that we match the 2 sets. Set of 3 and set of 4. Set of 3, what are the 3? 3 natures, which the Naima indicated, and set of 4, which Bhavani indicated. Now you have to match the 2. You have to do the matching. So, the first, let's say from the 4, what is the end of 4? We try to put them in the 3, the set of 3. From the 4, what is the first one? What is the second one? Impermanence. Impermanence goes into the other powered nature. Impermanence and other powered nature. Impermanence from the set of 4 and the other powered nature from the set of 3 natures. These 2 are synonymous. Impermanent phenomena and other powered nature. These 2 are synonymous. And why? How? We'll discuss later. Done. Now from the set of 4, what is next to impermanence? Ultimate reality. So ultimate reality, from the set of 4, when you go to see where it fits, from set of 3, we see the thoroughly established nature. Thoroughly established nature and the ultimate reality, these two are synonymous. Again, why, how, we'll discuss later. Next, from the set of 4, what is left now? Permanent phenomena other than ultimate reality and non-existence. Okay, how many agree with me? Raise hands. Non-existence and permanent phenomena other than ultimate reality. These two things are left. So there's no choice. So these two will automatically go into the impure nature. Okay. Now how many you could follow thus far? Minimum 80% above. Raise hands. Okay, how many you could not follow? Strange, Sheikh, you could not follow. Okay, what are you writing at the moment? Which point?
I wrote permanent phenomena under blank.
Okay, so there's no permanent phenomenon, by the way. What is said is that only two things, ultimate reality and permanent phenomena other than ultimate reality.
Other than permanent.
Very good. Other than ultimate reality. Not permanent, other than permanent. Okay, so let me repeat it. Set of 3. Drishti, tell me what are the set of 3? 3 natures. Did you get proper sleep? I know you're very sharp. And today what happened? Right? It's just mixed up. Okay. Say it again. Imputed nature?
Imputed nature, other powered nature, and thoroughly established nature.
Very good. Now all of us, set of 4. Set of 4, what are they? Non-existence, all of us. Non-existence, impermanent phenomena, ultimate reality, permanent phenomena other than ultimate reality. Very good. So now matching the two sets, in the imputed nature what comes? Non-existence and permanent phenomena other than ultimate reality. These two go into imputed nature. Non-existence and ultimate, the permanent phenomena other than ultimate reality go into the imputed nature. What falls under the other part of nature? Impermanent phenomenon. Very good. What comes under the what? Thoroughly established nature? Ultimate reality. Good. Okay, how many you could follow thus far? Okay, good. Now our jump is we talk about truly existent and non-truly existent. Okay, flower, according to Chittamatra, flower versus the mind which sees the flower. So flower is the nature of the mind which sees the flower. These two are same nature, like the reflection in the mirror. If that's the case, flower exists or not for Chittamatra? The mind which sees the flower exists, but the flower, does it exist or not? Does it exist or not? This is the first question. It exists, yes, it exists. Number 2, does it exist as truly? Does it exist truly? No resonance? No resonance? No resonance? Yes, resonance? Does it exist truly? Yes. Okay. So therefore, we did this, the 3 natures. Of the 3 natures, first imputed nature is one which does not exist true. For Chittamatra, imputed nature does not exist truly. Whereas the other part of nature and the thoroughly established nature, these two exist truly. Okay, so we are yet to explain, the imputed nature. Why? Non-existence and the permanent phenomena other than thoroughly is what's that? The ultimate reality falls under imputed. What is meant by imputed nature? Number 1. What is meant by other part of nature? Number 2. What is meant by thoroughly established nature? So this I'm going to quickly explain. First, let us explain the other part of nature first. What is the other part of nature? Under this, what comes under this? Impermanent phenomena. So first, the other part of nature means a phenomena which comes to existence by the power of other causes and conditions. Other power, let me put it. Phenomena or phenomenon which exists by the power of other causes and conditions. That is other part of nature. On impermanent phenomenon qualifies that. Other part of nature, you got it. Next is thoroughly established nature. So thorough and ultimate, these two are similar. You agree? Thorough means it's the ultimate. So ultimate reality and thoroughly established, which is established so thoroughly. These two are synonymous. Good? And what is left? Imputed nature is left. Imputed. Okay, let's say that okay. So what is in my hand? If you ask me what is in my hand, I say I have a chocolate. Is it true or not? It's not true. But my mind imputes. My mind imputes. Imputation has a connotation that there's no real substance there. There's no real substance there. There's no reality there. It's just your mental imputation. You getting it? So that the flower being a chocolate, it's just mental imputation. Mental exaggeration, mental imputation. Then let's say that the permanent phenomena other than the ultimate reality. Like what? Permanent phenomena other than ultimate reality. So ultimate reality is extremely real because it is ultimate, it's final. You agree? It makes some sense? Ultimate reality, by the very definition, it means something which is ultimate, it's so real. And then the other part of nature is real, is true. Because other part of nature has substance there, which is true. Either it should be substance or it should be thoroughly established nature. These two should be true. Other than that, like for example, say permanent phenomena other than ultimate reality. What examples do you have? Uncompounded space. Yes, what are they dealing with here?
Отсутствие цветка в вашей руке.
Absence of flower in your hand.
Absence of flower. Oh, no. Okay, absence of flower in my hand. Absence of flower in my hand. Perfect. Anyone else? Permanent phenomena other than ultimate reality. Okay, Nicola.
Absence of monkey in his room.
Okay, now absence is enough. Right? Absence of flower, absence of monkey is enough. Okay, don't bring absence of this, absence. You bring some other examples of the permanent phenomena other than ultimate reality. Venerable?
Generic image.
Okay, generic image, very good. Generic image, and the many of you may feel, what is it? Okay, don't worry. Anyone else? What else? Okay, just let's explore. So that they say people who are half, right? Dhamma practice, not too much study, right? The curiosity to study more will come. And those who are beginners, okay, I thought Buddhism is just very kind, nice, gentle, naive, and just sitting nicely, right? Oh no, it's a very active philosophical studies. Okay, so is that? Okay, Chittamatra, give an example of permanent phenomena and ultimate reality. So don't bring any absences now.
The impermanence of a flower.
Oh, impermanence of flower. That is impermanent. It's impermanent. It's not permanent.
The quality of impermanence?
No, it's permanent. It's impermanent. Okay, over there.
Wisdom?
Wisdom is impermanent. It's the best example of impermanence. Huh?
The question was
What is the permanent phenomena other than ultimate reality? What examples do you have? Okay, Anna.
conceptual mind?
All minds are impermanent phenomena. Be it conceptual or conceptual, they are all impermanent phenomena. Over there, Pushpaji, yes? Oh, no, it's not Pushpa. What's your name?
Natalia.
Natalia.
Is it cessation? Cessation. Yes.
That's good. Okay, cessation. Again, cessation is absence. You get it? Cessation means cessation of afflictions. So the person, there's a quality of absence of afflictions. Anyway, these are special effects. Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, Yen.
Oneness.
Okay, good. Oneness. Okay. Oneness is a permanent phenomenon. Yes. Diana?
The flower being the referent of the word flower. Flower being the referent of the word flower.
Flower being the reference of the label flower. Right? How is it permanent?
Because it is merely imputed by the conceptual mind.
How?
Because the flower doesn't actually have any substantial quality of being referent of the word flower. It's just because someone decided to call it a flower through the power of their conceptuality.
How do you know that?
Because
How do you know that?
Because
I don't just quote somebody.
Well, the reasoning makes sense because when you look for, because before the word comes to someone's mind, when you look at a flower, there's no sense of it being flower.
So which means in order to see there's a flower, you should have the word in your mind.
Yes.
Okay, so the cows they don't see grass.
They don't see grass.
Huh? So they don't have the word grass.
They see grass, they don't see it as grass.
Oh, sorry, they don't see it as food.
Yes.
What yes? They don't see food. They don't see that is eatable.
As edible.
Raw is not eatable. This grass is eatable. This distinction is not there in the cow's mind.
That distinction, as stated, is not there in the cow's mind.
So they eat the cow. They randomly go. They eat something, right? Raw eat.
No, don't do that.
Right. Good distinction. So this distinction is thought.
They have a distinction in their thoughts. Yes.
So what is that thought? That they're not the words.
They
The distinction. They don't have the words. Still, they make the distinction.
Yes.
How do you do that?
So they still are able to recognize
So they can
the
see
quality of what do you call that?
So they don't have the words of the quality.
They don't have the words or the qualities.
But they know the qualities.
They know the qualities.
So it's not necessary to have the words.
Yeah. To understand the qualities, that's true. Yes.
So you don't require the words.
For,
To know the grass, you don't require to know the word of the grass.
There's an image.
to know the grass, you do need the grass.
Okay. What Dhyana said is good. I'm checking whether it's coming from his own thought or borrowed. It's very good. Thank you. Okay, here.
Horn of a rabbit.
Horn of a rabbit is not permanent phenomenon. It does not exist. Permanent phenomenon means it should be phenomenon. Phenomenon means it should be existent. Okay, Dorji.
I think time.
Okay, time is the best embodiment of the impermanence. It is impermanent. It's not permanent. Okay, Srindaula.
Geshe, clear like mind.
Clear the mind, is it mind or not? All mind should necessarily be impermanent. Over the lady over there, Suzanne? Susanna or Suzanne? Suzanne. Yes.
Suzanne.
Yes.
What about general characteristics of phenomena?
General characteristics of?
Phenomena.
Generally character.
Is that as opposed to specific?
Okay, that's amazing. Very good. Very good. Something very technical.
Is that permanent?
100% yes. 100% correct. Thank you. Okay, Igor.
I'll risk one that comes to mind. Value of money.
Huh?
The value of the money.
Value of the money.
It's always changing. Stock market is always
That's interesting. Value of money, is it permanent, impermanent? Yeah.
Definitely impermanent.
Huh?
Definitely impermanent. It's always changing.
Okay, so now is permanent, impermanent? Value of the
I
money.
think it's impermanent because we have experienced the deep demonetization.
Right. Permanently it becomes just ordinary paper. Right, demonetization. Okay, still you need to think more. This is actually a good question. Any new hands? No new hands coming up. Over there. Very particular file. Okay, gentlemen, yeah.
Geshe, the Buddha.
Oh, Buddhahood. So Buddha is not Buddhahood? Buddhahood answer is correct. I'm just provoking you further. Right? Answer is correct. Thank you. Thank you. Venerable Petula?
So the basic essence of the Tathagata Tathagata about the basic element of whatever translation is used.
What's that like?
It's
Okay, listen.
It's the emptiness along with the stains. And
Emptiness of the mind with the
emptiness of the
stain.
mind along with the stains.
Don't say along with the stains. Emptiness of the mind with stain.
Emptiness of the mind with the stains.
Okay. Ultimate reality of the mind. Ultimate reality, you already convert this ultimate reality. Because this ultimate reality is not a permanent phenomenon other than ultimate reality. It is ultimate reality.
Yeah, I'm always confused when you say with the stains, because you can remove the stains. How do we still consider that still permanent? I get confused by it.
Which one?
The Tathagata.
Okay. It's not the Tathagata with the stain. This is not the connotation. It's your mind with the stain. Your mind with the stain. Right? Okay. Are you following me or listening to Vishima?
No.
Because I put my effort. Everybody's looking at me. And I'm looking at you, you're looking at Vishima. Okay. So, your mind with the stain. Your mind with the stain. If you put it like that, it becomes very easy. Your mind with the stain. Is it true or not?
Yes.
Your mind is with the stain. Yes. So this mind, not to confuse it, this mind is empty of intrinsic reality. Yes, no?
Yes.
So this emptiness of that mind, that emptiness is the Tathagata.
Okay. Thank you.
It's not like exactly. Okay, if you got it, good. Okay, don't confuse.
I'm sorry.
So this is what she's interested in. Okay. Yes, over there. Last.
Я хочу разобраться через пример природы. Например, вот есть Солнце, есть Луна. Это постоянные объекты, и в то же время есть смена цикла, да, день и ночь. И смена в природе. Что-то умирает, что-то рождается заново. Вот круговорот, да, вот этой природы. Это про постоянные явления или непостоянные зависимые?
Geshe, I want just to clarify. For example, we have sun and moon. Sun and moon are permanent phenomena. And at the same time, we have cycles such as days, nights, and cycles of nature. And these cycles, are they permanent or impermanent?
Okay, the sun and moon, they're impermanent. Sun is made of substance. It's made of hydrogen. And then the fusion reactions, fission or fusion? Fission reactions take place and turning into helium. And then one day the sun will die. It will become a dead star. So therefore it is the fact that it is made of substance that itself is the full justification for it to be impermanent. Then the days, months, and so these cycles, a year and so forth, there's a time. Time should necessarily be impermanent. Okay, good. So with this in mind, what I'm saying is that according to Chittamatra, the same thoroughly established nature and other power nature should necessarily be truly existent, while impure nature does not exist truly. Okay, so this background information we need to understand this verse. Verse number 26. The illusion of an external object is not separate from the mind. For example, like the flower, it's not separate. It appears as external, but it is illusion in ways that it appears as external. It is not external. But this flower, it exists as not separate from the mind. Despite being inseparable from the mind, this flower is still impermanent. We agree now? Why is the flower impermanent? Although it is not separable from the mind, still it is impermanent. Why is it impermanent? Because it falls under the category of the other power nature, and the other power nature should necessarily be impermanent. Very good. Okay. Well, if it were truly existent functional thing, so now Prasangika is telling them, if it is truly existent, truly existence has connotation that it should exist the way it appears to you. You getting it? It should exist the way it appears to you. If it truly exists, it should exist the way it appears to you. If it exists different from the way it appears to you, it's not truly existent. So, if it truly exists, as you said, then it should be if it were truly existent functional thing, how could it not be different from the mind? It should be different from the mind because it appears as different from the mind. So how it appears, it should exist. And okay, look at the flower. How does it appear? As different from mind or as same as the mind? How does it appear? Different from the mind. And if the flower does exist as truly, it should exist the way it appears to you. And it appears as different from the mind. So it should be different from the mind. It should not be what? The nature of the mind, it should be external. If there's no nature of the mind, it appears external, it should be external. So your basic philosophy that the externality is absent, externality is non-existent, is wrong. And if you say it is not different, if you insist that no, it appears as different, but it's not different means it should not exist the way it appears to you. It should not exist the way it appears to you, which means that it should not be truly existent. So this is the correlation in Chittamatra, pointing to 5 Charachandika. Okay, now the next line, verse number 27, the first line requires a little bit of the translation and modification. Although the illusion, and then in bracket you can write like form, and so forth. Although the illusion, like form and so forth, is not truly existent. It's not truly, it's there. The meaning is there. Only part, the form and so forth, you put that in bracket. Instead of that, you say, although the illusion should be outside the bracket. Although the illusion, for example, like the form and so forth, is not truly existent, it is still an object of view. Now the opponent said, the Chittamatra would say that, okay, so the object that you're seeing is the illusion-like, the flower is illusion-like. Flower is illusion-like, but still it is the object. So, Chittamatra says that the flower is illusion-like, still it is illusion-like, meaning it does not exist truly. So, what we said is that it is impermanent phenomenon, it should be truly existent, about Chittamatra. Now, when Prasangika pushes them, they have to change the position slightly. Because they are philosophers, they will not be too stubborn. Some people can be very stubborn. You know that? Some people are very stubborn. Right? Yeah. Some people they don't like what they know that they want to change, still they hold. Right? Okay. So the Chittamatra, real Chittamatra, they are not too stubborn. So they will keep changing the position. So they change the position saying that, yes, you're right. So, okay, since I check, you are looking for the modification. So they say that object, the flower, which your mind is perceiving object, it is illusion, in ways that
doesn't exist truly. And if it is not truly and still it can be object, then your subject also, it may not be truly existent, still it can be subject. What's the problem? So they said the subject, the mind is truly existent. If the mind is illusion-like, then you cannot see the object. This is the earlier position, earlier debate. So now Bodhicharyavtara is saying that if the object is illusion, still it can be object. If the subject can be also illusion-like, still can be subject. So you can posit the subject object both, although both in the form of illusion-like. So for the Chittamatra, subject can never be, the mind can never be illusion-like. It should be real, it should be truly existent. So this is the contradiction which the Bodhisattva is indicating, pointing to. Okay, 27. Although the illusion, like the form and so forth, is not truly existent, it still is an objective view, object. So it is for the viewer meaning the subject. So it should be for subject. Subject also can be illusion-like, still can be subject. So subject and object both can be illusion-like. Not necessarily the object is illusion-like and subject is truly existent. Now suppose you still object, but samsara must have, okay, now the opponents, they said that, okay, this is samsara and nirvana, they must have some true existence as a foundation, right? This is not only the Chittamatra's position, whosoever study, contemplate, and meditate on emptiness Prasangika's philosophy, you are also bound to come with this kind of belief that something should be there from the object. Something should be there from the object which is true. So based on which then the illusion can be built up. If there's nothing really true there, then it becomes purely imagination. Okay, how do you get this feeling? That when you say everything is like purely the subjective, then you feel uncomfortable. There must be something there from the object. Make sense? Okay. So if you feel it, don't feel shy, don't feel bad. This is what we have to go through. This is the only way how we have to go through. And then keep reflecting on, don't just say that, don't just be stubborn again. No, if there isn't something there as truly existent, then the illusion doesn't make any sense. And then you just block your mind from listening to somebody else. If this happens, this is the greatest of the failure. There's no harm in holding your position, thinking that there should be something there. And then otherwise, then nothing makes sense. Everything becomes like space. It's set here, like a sky, like a space. There's not really there. Okay, if it does happen, don't worry. Keep studying more, keep reflecting more, keep meditating more. So why this thought is happening? Although intellectually, you will say that nothing is subjective, everything is subjective. Still, at the core of your being, you still feel uncomfortable to say that everything is subjective. There should be something real there. Why this is happening is because of our very strong belief in objective reality, self-grasping ignorance, since time immemorial. It's been chronic. Although logically somebody proves that this is so, but still your mind does not really fall in this direction. So sometimes I say that emptiness is not difficult. Emptiness is not difficult. Only thing is that our mind does not go in that direction. Because our mind is constantly pulled by the chronic disease of this self-grasping ignorance. It constantly pulls us back to believe in something intrinsic, something objective. So somebody talks about emptiness, Arjuna talks about emptiness, Bodhicharyavtara talks about emptiness and so forth. Yeah, but then something, right, and you meditate on there, still something is there. And many years ago, one very serious Dhamma practitioner, a Westerner, very serious practitioner. So when we were talking about emptiness, and he said, in the meditation, that's very true. So when I dissolve myself into emptiness, and then suddenly there's some way from the inside, says something inside, comes out. Comes out as the self there. So here is empty. Something comes out of the jump from there. Something is there, right? So these things can happen. These are all the reflections of the
the chronic disease of the self-grasping ignorance from the past. So this life, we have to put effort somehow to dismantle this chronic disease to the best we can. Study as much as possible, study extensively as possible, correct information, correct books. I would say that even the books, be very careful on emptiness. Make sure that you read the standard books. If you don't read the standard books, it can have an adverse effect. Read the standard books. The first book that most of us, I would recommend, is His Holiness the Dalai Lama's book, How to See Yourself as You Really Are. You read this book, you handle the standard, simply because there's a book on emptiness doesn't mean anything. You're getting it? I know there are some books written by some authors who do not believe in what they wrote. You're getting it? I'm giving this warning to you. Because many of us, we are too naive. Simply because there's a book, they think that it's very standard. You're getting it? So this is something you should be very, very, very careful. And for the Russian language, I don't have any clue as to what kind of standard translations are there. But in English translation, I would say that, of course, the standard books are the composition by Nagarjuna, Acharya Chandagiri, they're all there. And then today, I would say Lama Tsongkhapa's commentary on the Acharya Chandagiri's text is available in English. And that too by a very good translator, Dr. Tutin Jimba. It is there. This so good translation. So I would say that, and the book is quite costly, about 4,000 rupees. But I would say that it is, the cost is nothing in comparison with the availability made of this. Otherwise, this is not available in English. There are some other translations, but there are their own limitations there in terms of the accuracy, in terms of the flow of the language and so forth. It becomes very complicated. Whereas Dr. Tudijma's translation is so good. It's so good. And I would say that the cost is nothing. It's a treasure you're getting. It's like you're getting like $1 billion worth of object just for 4,000 rupees. It's just nothing. 4,000 rupees. So therefore, I would say that and then of course, even I would say the publisher, who buys this book? Who reads this book in the first place? Who reads this book? So less number in the world. Who reads this book? So less. Who studies this? So less. So less. For example, say in the Tibet House, we conduct this Nalanda Master's course, because of which the most like in this world, in English language, this book will be used maximum by the Tibetan audience. So NMC, we have about maybe almost hitting 2,000 students. So the publisher cannot really publish 200 books because nobody buys. And then they have the money issue. The money cannot be recycled. So there's a problem for them. So therefore they produce only about 500 copies. Even that they find it difficult for the people buying. And they deliberately making it accessible for the people, because there are people who depend on these books. So it's amazing, the kindness of the publishers and people who requested Dr. Tudijma to translate that, and Dr. Tudijma himself actually translated this. There's amazing efforts, amazing. So 4,000 is nothing. I would highly, highly recommend. Tibetans, we try our best to get the copyright from them and then print it ourselves, but we don't get the copyright. But I have no issue. I have no issue. The fact that this book is made available, this itself is amazing treasure. So therefore, for the people who are, the English dependent, I would say you must get this book, whether hard copy or soft copy. And the best would be soft copy if you can buy this, rather than use the free copy. With the free copy, the problem is that there are many things like the outlines and the appendix, they're all missing there. So if you buy it, purchase it, you get everything intact. And the hard copy is the best. But some people prefer the soft copy. Then a soft copy maybe is about 3,000 rupees. Yeah, so about that. It's just nothing, to be very honest. It's nothing. So don't think that is like any other book, which should be made available for like 1,000 rupees, 500 rupees, and so forth. Don't equate this. This is treasure. In fact, I personally, of course, I don't have the Tibetan English translation at the direct words of the Lama Tsongkhapa. But then why I have been just waiting for this book is that there are so many people I know who learn, who study this text, but then they don't have this text. So this is a big problem. And suddenly it came out, and to the Toronto, it took him about like, I think almost 20 years. I know that this book was first translated about like 20 years ago. I know that. And then I got the first draft of that, and I sought his permission that I be allowed to use this. Yes, I used it for some time, and then I was insisting him, please make it available, when will it come out, and then it took 20 years. So therefore, this is huge work, and it's not like the publishers, they are making money out of this. No, they don't make any money, to be very honest. But who buys? In this world, who buys? This is treasure, but there's no, the group or a huge institution for monastery universities. Thousands of monks and nuns, they study this book. So the books will be, easily sold. But then in English, who studies? Except for Tibet House group, which is about a 2,000 audience. Otherwise, in the small groups, they are like maybe 20, 10, 30, 40. There's no such huge market. So therefore, the fact that they even made it available in the book, we should be extremely grateful. So the 4,000 is nothing, to be very honest. Okay, good. Okay, which verse are we reading? 28. Well, how could a non-thing, okay, so what we're saying is that how could a not-thing supported by a truly existent thing come to have a function of giving rise to a bondage and liberation? So the Chittamatra will say that something should be there. This is what I'm saying, this is what we're discussing. That something should be truly existent there. Otherwise, on that basis, then everything is illusion, purely imagination. There should be something. For example, the examples that they give is amazing. Okay, we have to look for the examples, and then when you say, wow, that makes sense, then listen to Acharya Chandrika's philosophy. Then when it makes sense from Acharya Chandrika's sense, then your philosophy becomes deeper, your understanding becomes deeper and deeper. So what example they give is that, for example, effigy. What is effigy?
Scarecrow.
Hey, Nicole, effigy. Scarecrow.
Yes, it is
Scarecrow, right? Who said scarecrow? Okay, what is scarecrow?
Scares crows.
Thank you. A straw man.
Okay, straw man. Straw man made in the form of a human?
Yes.
To scare the crows, right? Okay. So it's not a real human being, but the crows, they're scared. Oh, there's a human being there, right? Okay, now I don't need any explanation to scare, otherwise it'll take a lot of time. So they say, but the birds and the crows, they're scared. There's a human being there, right? So is it a real human being? No, but that object appears as a human being. So which means that object being the human being is an illusion. Yes, no? That is illusion. But that illusion, there should be some basis there. Straw man should be there. Straw man is real. Human being there is not real, but the straw man is real. Then yes? Straw man is real. If the straw man is not, it's just empty, or I visualize a man here, right? And the crows, they come, they're scared. No, the crows will not be scared. There should be substance there. There's some real object should be there. On this basis, then you can create illusion. For example, like prank. Prank, right? Say your brother, particularly the brothers do that to the sisters, right? Coming in the guise as a ghost, right? Diana, it happened? Yes. Okay. The brother coming for the ghost to you, and you're so scared. The ghost is illusion. Yes, it's actually a brother who's not a ghost. But there should be the ghost, the brother is real. There should be something real there on which the illusion can be created. So Chittamatra is saying there should be the true existent phenomena there in order for the illusion to arise. For samsara, nirvana, everything cannot be purely subjective. There should be something there. There should be something there from the object as intrinsic real, on which then you can build up the illusion. Amazing, right? It makes sense? Viraj, it makes sense? Are you sure? Okay. Okay, then how many of you feel that you are closer to Prasangika? Raise hands. How many of you, I'm not asking you who are the Prasangikas. I'm asking who feel a greater affinity to Prasangika. Raise hands. Okay, now you give the answer to this question. So what the Chittamatra says, there should be some intrinsic reality there, object reality there, on which you can build the illusion. If there's nothing there, then it becomes purely imaginary. That's amazing, right? How the Prasangikas will give the answer? Anyone? Anyone? Okay, here, your name? Nicholas.
I would say there has to be a basis, but the basis is separated conceptually, so it doesn't intrinsically exist.
So the basis exists truly?
No, the basis itself is separated through conception.
No. This is not my question.
What's the question?
The basis, Chittamatra is saying, there should be some basis which exists truly. If such basis is not there, then illusion cannot build upon this. For example, like the effigy, presented as a human being. Human being is not there, it's an illusion.
Yes.
But for this illusion to be created, there should be the basis of the straw man. And straw man is real.
But why is the straw man real? Because I
Of
think
course
in
it's
this case,
real.
the straw man's real.
No,
but
nobody can reject that this is a straw man. But that this being human being can be rejected. It's an illusion. But it serves a purpose.
yes, perhaps I mean, obviously I don't understand, but I think that the basis itself of the straw man, giving an appearance to a person which is not intrinsic to the straw man itself, I would conceptualize as a basis of designation. For instance, if there's light and there's photons that's presenting green, the quality of
Okay. Nicholas, so let us put it like this. Say, first we have to understand what they are saying. What Chittamatra is saying. If you understand it well, and then you give yourself a little time. Don't just say that, no, you're wrong. Instead of that, just give yourself a little time. What they are saying is that if there's straw man is not there, if you just create an illusion, there's a human being there to scare the crows will not be scared. There should be something there. There should be something there. Without the something there, you just mentally imagine there's a human being there, that the crows will not be scared. There should be something there. On this, then you can be an illusion. And for example, let's say the crows, they come, they're really scared. They're seeing something there. So what they are seeing is illusion, it's not real. But then for that to happen, there should be real straw man there. You getting it? Do you see difference between this and versus you? Just imagine, there's a straw man there. So the crows will be scared. Right? So there's a difference. One, there should be real substance there. One, there's no real substance there.
But Geshe, why does the basis have to exist intrinsically? Like, why does, just because the appearance of intrinsic reality on the basis of something, why does that basis...
Can you see difference?
Yes.
So difference. So one which can actually scare the crow.
Yes.
One which does not scare the crow. One which actually scares crow. Although what scares the crow is not the straw man.
No.
Straw man does not scare the crow. If some of the crows are very smart. Yes. They know that this is not real human being. This is a scarecrow. They go there and they eat up the crops. You getting it? Yeah. But many, they run away, thinking that there's a human being there. So illusions created. Yeah. So for that illusion to be created, there should be real straw man there. In the absence of the straw man, you cannot create this illusion.
Okay. I will contemplate.
Okay, so here, there's a distinction there. If you acknowledge the distinction, only then you think of it seriously. Okay, over there, Suzanne.
Thank you, Geshe. I'd like to try. How about the illusion of a mirage? Is based on nothing.
Yes, of course, it is based on the land and the heat
That's
in the daytime. All these factors are required. Without these factors, mirage cannot happen. Okay, good. We stop here.